Good morning, good morning. It is Motivation Station with Rose and Sanjay. Rose, good morning, good morning.
Hello, 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 motivation station.
How are you?
This morning I woke up in a winter wonderland. It's very beautiful outside, just the way I love my winter. When it's snowy, it's white, everything is magical. You go outside, you build a snowman, you play with some snowballs, right? Make some beautiful pictures. It is beautiful. However, this beautifulness right now is roadblock for my flight.
The travel plans? Yes, yes.
Yes, I still have a flight today, and the question, maybe you guys can help me to figure it out, how to get to the airport, because right now it's very dangerous to drive 2 hours. I'm 2 hours away from the airport, and it's 2 hours back, and plus probably it's gonna be more slower because it's dangerous to drive, so you have to be slower driving. So that adds another hour to the traveling situation. So it's 3 hours before you get to the airport. And you know what? My heart is telling me, you know what? Just go ahead, go outside, enjoy the winter wonderland because that's how much you love snow. This is the one thing I love about winter. It's the snow winterland because Wonderland because I was born practically in the snowland.
Mhm.
And for me, it's like I was always, every winter, I crave snow. And I'm just gonna enjoy the weather, do some snow angels, maybe build some snowman, and see if my flight can be pushed for Monday. Because over there right now, it's also cold.
Mhm.
For the first time in a long time, it was 17 degrees also, and like here, it's going to be cold in here too. So, which is amazing. 2 days of coldness over there. I'm just gonna read it out here, and then when I go back there, it's gonna be beautiful 60, 70-degree weather. Of course, you already know I have everything planned and scheduled, and then I find out that Fort Lauderdale is only 35 minutes on the train. Going to Miami, it's only 1 hour and 12 minutes on the train. So it's like I've planned so many days plus the events for my friend's painting business. So she is, it's like it's there. So I'm just a little feeling it like, oh,
Yeah, I mean, it really sucks when a wrench is thrown into your plans, right? Like you had everything down to a T. And I totally get that. Even with the snow that we had, there was certain levels of prediction for it for even me, and then there's like certain things like is out of our control. There's not much I can do. Like I knew Monday, last week when it snowed, Monday I was gonna be able to work from home, and I was able to, and
mhm.
I got some good work done. And I'm like, we have a lot of work to do, and they're probably gonna call me in Tuesday, which they did. And I was like, oh, the road should be cleared up then, so I'll leave maybe a little bit earlier. But my commute, like this whole week, has been absolutely insane because they close off roads. There's been a lot of accidents, all this, and it's just like you're not really prepared for it, but like you just kind of ride through it. And I think, unfortunately, I mean, believe me, I can see the disappointment on your face. I know you really wanted
uh,
to go. I know everything was like planned out, but this is just part of God's plan, right? You just gotta hold on to a little bit more patience, enjoy the weather and the snow you have in front of you. I that day when it snowed, I went out 3 days shoveling, and it was very tiring. My body was very sore. It was too cold to take my daughter out that day, but then I went out on Sunday and we played in the snow a little bit. And she had fun, and the snow was like waist high for her. Like she's already short, so being a child, but like the snow was really like going above her like legs, comfortably, and she would try to like follow my footsteps, and like my footsteps are too big, and then we would. It was fun. We fell. We had a snowball fight. I won, of course, but it was a good time. She enjoyed it, but we're just kind of like over snow because my wife has started. I think I mentioned doing a thing where she like likes to read a lot now, so she wants to
Yeah.
go a lot more to the library. But now it's like she can't comfortably go there because the roads, like it's hard to walk through the roads and the bus to get there, and then so now I have to take her. But then it's like I'm working, so my whole days are gone to like shoveling and being a chauffeur, for everyone. But like I know all this is temporary, and I try not to let it get to me. Which kind of leads me to our next thing. Funny enough, because I know we were talking about I had like a job opportunity available, and it was between me and someone else, and they chose this someone else. And
Oh,
yeah, they updated me yesterday, and that's fine. Like the like when I went for the interview, they were very respectful. They were talking to me about it and things like that. And then on Friday, they made their decision, and they said it was a hard one, but the other guy was a little bit more technically qualified than I was, and I said, yeah, that's fine. That makes sense. Like for me, I'm more better with when it comes to dealing with people versus like the like technology part, I guess. So when I found that out like midday, like I was quite upset. Like I was just like I was hoping that this would be my going back to normal schedule, going back to normal life like that. When I went for my interview Wednesday, on Thursday, I actually went out drinking with one of my friends that I used to, meet up with weekly because he just works and stresses and works and stresses. And he's trying to
yes.
retire like next year, but he's just trying to ride it through. So I like to meet up with him and we like to talk. And I just try to, kind of, keep him motivated, keep him going. Be like, hey, come on, man. We just got half a year left or whatever it may be until you retire. And then you can do whatever you want. But I haven't seen him in forever. Like it's been a good month and a half since we went out because like I've been sick, it's been cold, so many things at work has been busy. And when it was finally nice to catch up with him, and I caught up with him like after I did a good interview, so he was excited. Like, hey, if you get this job, you actually can leave work at 5 and then meet me by a decent time. You don't have to come out too late.
Yeah.
So I was very excited about it, hoping all that would work out. But when he reached out to me yesterday and they said, yeah, they chose somebody else, I was like, it is what it is. Like, I wasn't upset at him. They gave me the opportunity. I was just upset because I was tired at my job I was at already. And it was already like kind of a tough day. And then that was just like icing on the cake. You know what I mean?
No.
But then like halfway through the day, after that, I was just like, you know what, I gotta hold it together. I gotta just be positive. I started to count my blessings of what I do have. I'm still making good money. I still have a job. I can still try to meet up with my friends when I can. Like my parents are actually coming back from India this week, so they'll be back Tuesday. They were gone for like a 2 months, and like they're finally coming back, so like my daughter's excited. I'm like, there's a lot of good things coming my way. Like I'm not gonna let this shortcoming kind of beat me up, right? I'm not gonna lie to you, the second I started to change that kind of mindset, right, I was like, you know what, I gotta start reaching for the things I want. I think we talked about this before, like go for the things that you want, right? So me and my managers that I work with on site, we were like kind of bantering, we are talking. I think we just have like a really good relationship. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to ask him if I can work an earlier shift. So right now we have a shift that's covered by a remote team member, and they're at a 3-hour difference, right? So if they start at 7 a.m. Eastern time,
Yeah.
that's 4 a.m. their time because they're on the West Coast. And I'm like, 4 a.m. to start work is crazy. So they were wondering if they can start a later shift and I can take over the morning shift. But my direct manager kept saying no, right? So yesterday I was like, you know what? I'm going to fight for this. Like, if I'm going to stay here, we're going to play the game my way, right? So I went to my manager. I was like, hey, was there any discussion about scheduling? And he's like, what are you talking about? I was like, we're just trying to figure out because like my manager was telling me that we just work 8:30 to 5, like all of us. But when I asked for the earlier schedule that my coworker has, they told me no, so I wasn't sure. And he goes, I thought you were already working the morning schedule. So I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm working the 8:30. He's like, I thought you started at 7. And what had happened was I had asked on Wednesday if I can work an earlier shift, and I emailed my managers and I let them know. And I think my direct manager took it as Sanjay wants to work the earlier shift, so let Sanjay work at 7. But the thing is, he's my direct manager. He should have told me that because I only did it for the day. he told the person that I work with in the office that, oh, Sanji's coming in every day at 7. And I'm like, you didn't tell me, so I didn't know. So long story short, the good news is, I mean, getting up earlier is a little bit harder, but for me to, if I have to get to work at 7, there's less traffic and it's easier for me to get to the office earlier in the morning than at 8:30, you know? So I'm making the sacrifice of getting up a little bit earlier, but then this also means I leave earlier. I can leave at 3, 3:30, or 4, depending if I take lunch or, what kind of lunch I take. And I can meet up with anybody at that point. If people want to meet up after work, I can catch them easily. Especially my friend who, I'm trying to help him get through the rest of the year, half the year. I'm still making good money. I'll have more time for my family. I'll have more time to go back to the gym. So like when I started thinking positive that way, where I felt like I had control, then yeah, like then it was like my manager was like, yeah, you can work at 7, and then it was like, yeah, I'm still making good money, so I can go back to the gym. Yeah, maybe I actually just paid off some of my insurance now, so I have my health benefits back. So now I can go to the doctor's appointment. They're gonna yell at me, but it is what it is. But at least I'm gonna try to go on the right path to be healthier. I had my wife sign up for the gym yesterday with me. Well, I already go. Yeah, so she wants to go. The reason we didn't go together before was because my daughter, they have like a childcare service there, but my daughter was very like clingy to my wife at the time. But we took her when she was like 1.5. It was the last time we tried. Now when we took her to the childcare and we're like, hey, yo, go play in this room. Bro, she didn't even turn around. She just walked in the room and said, okay, bye, and then just started playing with all the kids. And I was like, all right, I see how it is. Yeah. So she at least, so she has that, like, I want to play with other kids mentality, which is great. And some beautiful things too there, because as we were signing up, the lady that helped us sign up, she was fantastic. And she was, we're explaining to her that we tried to do this before, but my daughter wasn't ready to be without my wife or me, and she's like, no, I understand that. And she had 3 kids of her own, and then she was explaining how like they grew up in Carteret and they're in high school, and I was telling her that, oh, I want my daughter to go to like elementary school here, because I know like I went to elementary school here and it's good, but when it comes to like the older ages, like middle school or high school, I got kind of hesitant because I know how kind of hard it can get in our school because it's so diverse, right? And then she tells me that there's like something called magnet schools, right? That you have to kind of like qualify for, right? But it's instead of going to like a private school and paying stuff like that, they can go to a magnet school where if they qualify to get in, it's free of charge. So it's like a free public school, right? And like so it's in Piscataway, right? So she lives in Carteret and it's in Piscataway, and she's like, there's a bus that comes all the way out to Carteret to pick her up, to take her to Piscataway. And I'm like, that's crazy. Yeah, I was like, that's crazy. So one of her, I think it's her oldest daughter.
That is really cool. Like, I never knew that.
I didn't know that either. I was like, what is that? And she's like, I didn't know either. Somebody told her. So I was like, she was happy to share that with me, because my game plan was to move out of Carteret by the time she was like ready to go to 4th or 5th grade. And I was like, I just want her to have a better education, right? But it's interesting because I was talking to my friend Sid, right? And I was telling him my game plan, but he said something very interesting to me. And it made sense because it was his story that happened, right? But he said, but what if your daughter makes friends? What if she goes to school and makes really good friends, and then you decide to switch schools? Right? And I was like, well, that's not the end of the world. That just means they don't go to school together. Like they can see each other on weekends or in town or whatever. Just means that, right? But like he understood that answer. But I know what he means, where he came from, because he came here around like middle school time period, and like I forgot where he moved from, but he didn't have a lot of friends. But then when he made friends with us, and we stayed friends forever, right? I mean, yeah, we had some hardships and fights and things like that, but like it was his story that he was like, but what if you make friends? I don't want to leave my friends. And I started thinking that way. I was like, yeah, I wouldn't, especially if you start going to school and you I think my daughter has a friend, or my wife made a mom friend, and their kids get along, and they're about to start school together this year, and that they're going to grow up together. Now they're only a couple of houses away, but imagine if we moved. Then we have to set up play dates on the weekend, play dates on, whenever we have time. So it kind of made me happier to know that an option like this exists, because I was thinking private school, but you know how expensive private school is after some time, you know? But like, you know, she told me that, so I was like, that's great. But, you know, my wife was excited to go back to the gym. Now that I work an earlier shift, we can go to the gym earlier and come home earlier.
That's amazing.
So many things are working out. So I'm just trying to stay very positive about it. But here and there, I hit some bumps in the road. Here and there, I'm just like, you know, there's a realization of something. But like, I'm like, you know, just trying to hold it together. And like, you know, I've been talking to a few of my friends, and there's like, you know, one friend was actually just straight up like asking, like, I don't think I had people really do that, but she's like, I'm so sorry to hear that. She's like, what can I do for you? And I was like, you don't need to do anything. Like, I don't need anything special. I was like, you're just talking to me is good enough, you know? But how often do we hit points in our lives where you can go to a person that's having a hard time and be like, what can I do for you? You know? Like, for some of us, it's just hard to do something. Like, we'll all sit there and just be like, well, I'm here if you need me. But like, I'm here if you need me is different than what can I do for you, you know?
It is different.
So like, when she said that, it kind of threw me off, and I was like, honestly, I'm all right. And then she asked me, she's like, do you want, we use like Discord, so she's like, do you want to hop onto a voice chat for a little while and just vent and stuff? And I was like, I'm okay, but we can definitely hop on voice chat. And then before I knew it, I was venting like she was venting, so we were able to kind of just lean on each other on that. So like, you know, not that like none of my friends would do that or anything like that, but just, you know, I don't think I've ever had anybody just come up to me and just be like, what can I do for you? Like, is there something I can do for you? You know, especially when I'm telling them that I had a hard day. So, you know, it was nice. And so all this kind of leads into my 2026 goals. So I'll start with that first, right? So I was even talking to Morgan. Morgan said she was going to try to be on, but she might have fell asleep because she's been kind of
Somebody's
sick under
out
the weather.
watching us, but there's nobody's
Yeah, it does
on
say
the
there we
chat.
have a number of people, but Morgan, you know, Morgan, she normally responds off the bat.
Whoever is watching us, hello. Thank you for being here and investing your beautiful, beautiful morning with us.
Yes, thanks for joining us, and feel free to join us in our
That
discussions of
part.
what we want us to be, or what our 2026 goals are. So, obviously, one of my goals, I have three goals that I want to do. Right. So I know we were saying one, but like for me, I was like, these three. If I complete these three by the end of 2026, like, I will be happy, not content, not like this is good enough. I will be happy, right? So number one is my health, right? So I might have mentioned this to you before. I don't quite remember, but I'm working on it. But I am diabetic. Like, I do have diabetes, and I'm really working on trying to get onto the healthier side. So working with doctors is going to be one of the major things I have to do, because for the last few years I've struggled with it because of health insurance and time and things like that. But I really, really, really have to care for my health the first time. Oh, hi, welcome. Hey guys, dropping by to say hi and have a like. We appreciate you. Thank you for
Hi,
coming by.
Levy. I don't know who that is, but
Yeah, I'll take it.
hi.
Thank
I
you.
hope
Thank
you're
you for
enjoying
swinging
your
by.
time.
Um, so yeah, so one of my goals is health orientated. So being healthy from like diabetes and just hitting the gym, right? I want to get stronger because lately I've been having some. All right, long story short, for story time, like, you know, I have my disability, as you well know as well, right? And
Yes.
when I was a kid, my doctor did say when I get older that it is gonna get worse. Like, that's inevitable. It's just damage to my body, period, right? So one of the things is we couldn't pinpoint exactly what the damage was, but when I went to India to a witch doctor, they had said it's actually nerve damage, which made sense, right? So it is nerve damage, and I can start to feel the nerves being damaged, like in my legs or in my hands. Like, I have weaker hands, and my feet aren't as healthy, right? But it's also like I gotta make sure I eat right and take care of myself, right? So I'm on the path. Like, I've been eating right more. I actually started eating quinoa, and it's one of my most favorite things to eat. And you know, my
Yes,
my my
quinoa
wife will
ball.
make like a nice little like Korean curry, And like I just like kind of have same meals all the time just to because it fills me up and things like that. Started making smoothies again, started eating more vegetables, more greens, super greens, all that. So like on the food side, I'm doing a little bit better, but I need to be more active because I said I don't sit all day at work. I walk around a lot, but I need to be a little bit more active, right? So part of that goal is I want to be healthier, and I want to be healthier for this one at least by the beginning of spring, because that leads to my second goal, which is I want to do my filming. I want to do my filming of the show that I wanted to do. That's like a John Wick spinoff or whatever. And I also still want to do my Pursuit of Peace, YouTube show too. So all this one, like I want to lead to that and get into that, right? And then by the end of the year, which is the third goal, is I want to get my Subaru working, like on active. Like
Yes.
I turn the key and it turns on. Like that is the goal for December. And the thing is, with the way I have this job and how much it pays me, and I've calmed down on a lot of my expenses. It is 100% doable, right? But the thing is, I just got to keep my eye on the prize and do that, you know. So for help to in part of that third goal, remember how I told you I like to go to the waterfront and just kind of sit there and chill and kind of open
Yes.
up my mind. I'm gonna start doing that again the second it gets warmer, because that was the time I was able to. The world goes quiet. The world goes quiet around you, and I can just exist out there, right? And I sit there and I just think about all the wonderful things that are about to come my way, you know. And I remember that like I told you, the last time I sat at the waterfront was the day I learned, um, the day I learned my wife was pregnant. Because I was like, everything changes after this moment. Everything changes after this moment. So I'm looking forward to this year. I have a decent sized game plan. Like I kind of at least have an idea of where I want to go. So I'm happy about that. But I don't think I've been this excited for some time. You know?
It is so exciting. I definitely see you making it happen for sure. And I cannot wait to see your movie. I cannot wait to see all of the short clips of you being in the waterfront and how you reflect, meditate, and create. You are very creative. One thing I want to say last episode, or the episode before we had David on, I forgot which one was it. But what I want to say, as we talking about goals of 2026 and also a little a roundup of January, that David actually did open his YouTube channel. His YouTube channel is DEF Dev underscore Bello, BELLO. So he opened. Hello, Morgan. He opened his a YouTube channel, made his banner, and now it took 3 days for him to, uh, with my help, of course, to actually be confident enough to open the channel. And now he is started recording his first episode, and I cannot wait to see things happening for him. And I know this idea, this a beautiful goal for him was born in our show because he said, I want to be a star. I said, okay, well, if you want to be a star, you definitely could, but what are you going to do for that?
Yeah.
And then we will break it down in small pieces of what actually you need to do. Goal, it's a great goal. It's great to have a goal, but what is your action plan?
Yeah.
Because without action plan, your goal is still just going to be like a fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
You need action plan for your goal, and I said, what can you do? Okay, let's open the YouTube channel. Let's start building your name. That's how you start building your name nowadays, especially through social media. That's how you build your brand, build your audience, and grow from there. And I'm super happy for David
Mm.
on that beautiful note.
Well, because I appreciate you there too, because It's like you said. I mean, I think it is important to have a goal, right? It is important to have a vision of like kind of what you want, but that vision, like none of that will happen if you just kind of like look at it and don't do anything. If you just like one day I want to be here, but you don't take any action or any recourse to get there, like you can't get mad at not achieving your goal when you did nothing to achieve your goal, right? So like for me,
Yeah.
like the boat I'm in when it comes to even like work, I can't get mad at my situations of work or even like me not being able to get the last job, right? Because somebody was more qualified, right? And they're more qualified because they know technically more, right? Like actual technically, like technology wise, they know more. And I'm like, yeah, they know more, and like I might not know as much, and they got the job. I can't be mad at that. If I knew technology more, they would probably chosen me. But maybe that's what they needed, was someone who knows more technology than who knows people, right? And that's the route they went, and that's completely fine. Like I'm not even upset about that. And even like ironically, I had a job offer like a while ago when I was looking in Hoboken, and I would have loved to work there because it was like a healthy food area. It was right by the water, so you can like oversee the
Yeah.
city. The guy liked me a lot. He really appreciated my mindset, my efforts, right? But there was a lot of physical demand to the job, and since I'm physically disabled, right, I can probably do the job, but with maybe help, or they don't want the job to be too physically demanding on me, which it really was, right? And although I wanted the job, they ended up going with someone else, and the guy profusely kept like apologizing, like, oh, like it's not that you were not worthy of the job. It wasn't that like I don't think you could do the job, but it's just there's a lot of physical work you have to do, and I don't know if it'd be a struggle for you. And I'm not judging you on that. And like maybe in my younger years I would have been offended. I'd be like, what the hell, man? Like handicapped people can do everything. But now that like shit is hitting the wall for me, and I can feel the difference, and I can feel that, what, physical work is starting to get to me, he wasn't wrong, you know. And I told him, I was like, listen, even in my last, when I went for my last interview, and I told him, the same guy I told my Hoboken guy, I was like, listen, even if I don't get a job, this was a fantastic experience. Your company seems like a
Mm-hmm.
fantastic place to work. I would love to work here, but if not, I know you guys will choose the right candidate, right? So I think they appreciate that, and that's why even when I didn't get this last job, the guy was like, "Oh, the manager was still speaking very highly about you. He just went the other route just because the other guy knew a little bit more about technology." I was like, "I'm not gonna argue. That's fine. I don't know enough, and like I could have made myself better. I could have studied a little bit more. I could have prepped myself for the interview. You know what I do for these interviews? I just go in being me, and like I can't expect that every interview I walk into, I'm just gonna get the job, right? So then it's just like, if I didn't get the job, if I didn't get a job that I didn't work hard for, like I'm not gonna get the job. You froze for a second, but I think you're back.
I'm here.
Okay, okay. So
I just
so
didn't move.
same thing with the with Dave, right? So like I believe him. I think he has the right attitude, right? Especially after his situation that he had gone through, he has the right attitude. I think with the right steps, with maybe some right direction, he'll get where he wants to go, and he'll make the difference he wants to make.
He will. He will. And putting that action into what you're doing, it's definitely will be moving you forward, and it will help you to build a confidence. No one starts as a professional, no one starts with full of confidence and full of knowledge and full of, like, you don't start from the top, you start from the bottom. So every single step of the way, it's it's important in your journey, because every step is building this solid foundation and
Mm,
creating the journey. It's creating the knowledge, giving you the knowledge and confidence to, even if you at the top, you know exactly what happened in each step of your journey, and you can, anytime if something happens to you at the top, you can always go back and rebuild it because you know how it was built.
right. I like, if you have a game plan, say you have a staircase in front of you to go upstairs, and one step is broken, it doesn't mean that you should give up and give up on all the steps and just trash everything. No, it just means you have to rebuild the step or maybe make another path around and go back up and things like that. The like You're always gonna have the up and downs no matter like what you do, right? But honestly, the up and downs are a lot better than just the steady flat line of nothing, right? It's kind of like the way like our heart beats at that point. It goes up and down. Um, but I think it's important that when you're going up, you're doing something right, and when you're going down, you're actually still doing something right. Because it's part of the process, right? The whole point of going down is to make sure that you eventually go back up again. You don't just stay going down, going down, going down, going down, and that's it. You eventually go back up. But like you have to have that movement to do it. You have to have something. You gotta work towards it, right? So, I mean, I'm happy to hear that about
Yeah.
David, and
And
I'm
right
wishing him the best.
attitude. Yes, and right attitude always going to help you as well. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when you want to give up, you are corner away from your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So having the right attitude, uh, get there and don't give up until you get there. That's the attitude. It's great to have.
Yeah.
Sometimes, maybe in the middle, you can realize that it's not your goal and it's not where you need to be going, and that's okay to realize and let go. But you
Mm-hmm.
need to know, are you letting go? Are you giving up?
Yeah.
So if you're letting go and you're grabbing to a different goal and you go in that direction that makes you happier, more visible, and you go in there, that's different story. But you are not a quitter, so I want you to keep going and to have that attitude. I'm going there until I will.
Yeah.
That's the attitude. Until I will, and that is important
Mm-hmm.
because
Nah, okay.
stones, distractions, things will always be thrown in your path. Like there's a picture, right? You're standing here, there's a path, and at the end of your path, there's your goal.
Mm-hmm.
But while you're walking in that path, there are going to be a people that don't believe in you, will be throwing stones at you. There will be a different wolves and dogs that will be bark at you. And then you go in, there's a thunderstorm and all kinds of other different storms on your path. So all you have to do is collectively take whatever is thrown at you and create that path a stronger, like they say, pick up all the stones and build an empire. So
Mm-hmm.
pick up all of that, what's thrown at you, make it a solid foundation, and get to the end of your path, which is your goal, and celebrate yourself. And the part is, while you're going in that path, and when you get to your goal, sometimes and most of the time, it happens that you're going to be by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because not everyone will be there for you. Not everyone is going to have that attitude until I will. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people will be a quitters. A lot of people will be oh, I don't feel like doing it, or this and that. So having that, I am the winner for my own family. I'm the champion of my family, and I'm going to get there. I have everything in me. I have a doctor rich in India who can always help me. I
Mm-hmm.
have a great friends. I have my favorite Subaru. I'm gonna go to the waterfront. I'm gonna just build my foundation, my path. Even the distractions come your way. Just hey, this is a distraction. This is a noise. This is just a storm. After storm is gonna be a sunny weather. You recognize that, but you're still going in your path towards your goal.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to, not you, everyone needs to have that image in their mind when they feel a little weaker, a little discouraged, or feel like they want to quit. Just remember this picture that there is a goal in the end of your path.
Yeah. There's there's a good point there that you made with it. I won't say that the like I think on the journey it is a path of like doing it alone, right? Like you'll have people who will encourage you. You'll have people that will be behind you, right? But a lot of people will show up when you succeed. A lot of people will show up like when you get to the end of it, right? But they'll never know the story behind that. But the thing is, you have to remember that you're doing all this for yourself. And even when we talk about motivation station, or I talk about my show that I want to do, right? The reason like we're doing these things is because we want to do it. We're doing it for ourselves, right? If people join us along the way, like the number of subscribers we have, even like Morgan being here and things like that, right? Like that comes with the progress, right? But the thing is, we didn't necessarily do this uh to just like basically like we're doing this for us is what I'm trying to say. Like like if people join us in our journey, that's beautiful, right? But we're not doing it for people to join us on our journey. We're not trying to make this progress to be like, oh yeah, I want to start this project or whatever it may be, and I want this person to come with me, this person to come with me. If it works out along the way, that's fantastic. But that shouldn't be your reason to want to start the progress, or do the progress in the first place. But the beautiful thing is, and I think we just live in such a facade of a world. So as much as I love social media, and I encourage people to reach out to people on there and connect and things like that, right? Sometimes it becomes too fake, right? And what I mean by that is like a lot of people sometimes get blindsided by I want to say they get blindsided by something that doesn't actually hold depth. You know what I mean? It's like on the surface they get excited it's kind of like how I talked about dopamine hits and stuff. It's like it's kind of like they get
You're
excited.
breaking up.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. You were breaking up.
Oh, I from my end I was gonna say it's like you lagging out, but it could be me. My internet
It was like
could
a
be shit.
Matrix moment.
Yeah. Um, but like so like I was saying, I don't know, because I feel like I know a lot of people, right? Like on social media, it shows I know a lot of people. Facebook, I know a lot of people and things like that, right? But when I sit
Yeah.
here and I'm sitting here, I'm like trying to encourage myself to go to the gym and like do one more set or like do one more exercise, like just do it until you're exhausted, right? There's no one sitting behind my back saying you could do this, you know? Maybe here and there, like my wife will say it. Maybe here and there, like my kid can say it, which I got to say something funny about that, right? But most of the time it's you on your own, right? And the more you progress, I think the beautiful thing is when you progress and people see your progress, they will want to join you on your journey. They'll like I've gone to the gym a few times where I see some of the same people all the time, right? We never I think it's just gym etiquette, but you go to the gym, like I don't talk to anyone. Like once I started seeing people, I started giving them like the head nod or just kind of like, hey, hi kind of thing. And then the more and more I started going, it was like more encouragement, thumbs up, fist bump, like keep going. And like they'll just walk by, and it's just like when you have that energy flowing, that you're just spewing that out, and people want that. People like want to join you on that journey. And that leads me, I think, to another reason why I felt a little bit better yesterday, after all my events, because my daughter's 3.5, right, and she has a pretty good understanding about conversation. So she gets the flow of a conversation and how things work. And I told her that I was having a bad day, right, and she's like, "What happened?" Right, like for her to be like, "What happened?" Like, what happened? Why was it a bad day, right? And I told her, I was like, "Lily, I did an interview during the week and I was supposed to hopefully get a new job, but I didn't get the job." I was like, "They chose someone else." And she was like, "They chose someone else?" I was like, "Yeah, like, I mean, that person was a little bit better than me." And like, she puts up one fist and she's like, "Who are they? I'll beat them up." And I just start laughing my ass off. 'Cause I was like, "Who told you how to be like this?" And I know she was like kind of joking because she started smiling afterward, right? But then she said something that like I won't forget. She's like, "It's okay. There's always the next time." She was like, "There's always next time." So she knows that this might not be where I want to be, but I'll go somewhere where I want to go. There's always next time. And then we laughed about it, and I just kind of forgot everything. I forgot that I didn't get this job and all that. I played games with my friends at night. I rested. I went to sleep. I woke up in a pretty decent mood. I have a little bit of a headache, but I think it's just because I'm tired. But like little things like that is like I just remember those moments where she was just like, "I'll beat them up," or, "There's always next time," and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, sometimes it still surprises me that I have a kid of my own, but it's like
Yeah.
it's like seeing a reflection of my own younger self. It is something I would have probably said as me as a kid, you know?
It's funny because I see her Instagram is booming and I love that for her. She's just a little bear. And she was singing this beautiful song this
Mm,
week. Everything will be okay. And I was
yeah.
like, wow, what a beautiful,
The first time
it
she
was a
sang
beautiful
that,
video.
I cried because it was a song that I knew existed. I didn't listen to it too much until I saw them in concert. And one day I played it in the car and I kept playing it because I fell in love with it. And like she sings the lyrics of the song, right? This is when she was even younger, a little bit younger, right? And she didn't know all here comes trouble and all that part. She didn't know those parts, right? But every time they go to say everything's gonna be okay, like she would sing that part, and I would just start tearing up because it's just like the way she was singing was so like innocent, and then she'd be like, "Don't worry, be happy," and like she didn't know any other words to the song, but those were the two lyrics that she would just sing back and forth, And I was just like, this is just amazing. But I agree,
Yeah, that was
like
definitely
like as
amazing
much as
place.
like I think my wife puts her out there, and I'm like kind of afraid of the whole social media world and the influence there. Like I'm just happy to be able to share my kid's beauty, and I don't mean like, oh yeah, not only she do I personally think that she's a beautiful child, like a beautiful looking child, but just like her soul, her very
Yes.
nature. You know what I mean? She's just like a very good kid. Like I remember even like we went to New York, and kids don't have filters, right? So we're walking around. We went to go see the tree. We're on our way back on Subway, and there's like a homeless guy sleeping, like just not, how homeless people sleep in New York. They just find a place that they hope no one will bother them, and they'll just go to sleep. And my daughter's like, "Why is he sleeping there?" Out loud, right? And I was like, literally, like, "Yo, you can't talk like that, right?" And I was like, "I'll tell you later, right?" And she's like, "Okay." And then we get to the subway and on the train, and we sit down, right? And I start telling her, I was like, Lily, in this world, there's people who don't have a home. I was like, there's people who live like on the street, and I can see her little brain trying to process everything I'm saying because she's looking around like, what do you mean they don't have a home? Because to her, we grew up in a home. She can't picture a life of us living on the streets of things like that. Now,
Yeah.
am I saying that won't happen? Like, I hope not.
Hmm.
But it's always, everything is always possible. And then in her head, she can't process what it means to not have a home, not be warm, not have a blanket, right? And she's like, next time I'm gonna give him a home. And I was like, okay, but like like it's hard, it's not easy, right? But she's like, yeah, but I'm gonna do it. Like she didn't let the fact that there's still a lot of logic behind that. She was just like, I want to be able to help him, right? And like it's gonna carry over because this year, if we're lucky, I think we'll be lucky. This year we'll be able to go to India, right? And I'll be able to take her. But there is a lot of poverty and poor in India, right? It's fortunately not right directly near us because I live in a village and we're all very tight knit. So if somebody's short something, we always got their back. Short money, we got you. Short
Yes.
food, we got you. Short warmth, we got you. Everything, sickness, we got you. So we all take care of each other in my village, which is I love it, right? And there's small cities nearby that there's not really a lot of poor people, but it is a poor area, right? They don't have fancy restaurants. They'll have restaurants equivalent to like McDonald's and Burger King, but on a lower scale. And the food is very cheap. And that's like where I go. But then once you go into like the bigger cities, you see a lot of it. You see a lot of pollution. You see a lot of poverty. You see, yeah. And
Yeah.
even when I go there, like I used to carry change because so like $1 is like equivalent to like 80 rupees. I don't know what it is right now, but something like that. And the equivalent for 80 rupees, like you can go to India, get a nice cup of chai for 5 rupees. You want chai and
Oh, really?
biscuits? Chai and biscuits, 10 rupees. I mean, and maybe there's inflation
Dang.
there now. Yeah. So with $1, 80 rupees, I can probably feed like 4 mouths, 4 or 5 mouths, right? So I take like 20, $30 with me,
Oh,
broken down
wow.
into rupees, right? And I try to give it out. If somebody's outside of a food shop begging and I go into the food shop and I get something to eat, I'll buy them something to eat too, and I'll give them money, just because of the convenience that they're there. I remember as a one time when I was as a kid, my mom bought boxes of cereal. I don't remember if we bought it from the U.S. I think we did. Because it was like Fruit Loops. It wasn't anything special,
Mhm.
right? And my mom took it with us on our journey that we went somewhere, and I was eating it in the car. And some kids came by begging, so I gave them some cereal. And they never had this cereal before. It's probably not the healthiest choice or whatever, but they just kept asking for more and more. So then I just gave them the whole box of cereal because I was like, I'm not, I'm not hungry. I'm not that hungry. I'm just snacking on it. But I'm like, these kids are in the streets. I don't know if they ate today. I don't know when they ate today. So I gave them the whole box of cereal, and all of them started waving at me like, thank you, like waving bye to me and stuff like that. And it's a very scary world to see, like, poverty. You know what I mean? It's very scary for me to like see poor people out there, and then there's people who are just so abundantly rich that, like, what are you gonna do with all this money? Like, you can't even do
They
it.
do help
Like, there's people out there that do help, but like there's a lot of people
a lot.
who like have all this, and they could even help a little, and they don't. So like, I'm happy that there's people out there that do what they can, even with the little that they have is a beautiful thing. I mean, I think I am seeing it less and less, but I am still seeing like tough times. But like, what I'm trying to essentially get to is like, my daughter just understands, like, I want to be able to help people. Like, she saw that guy sleeping there, and she's like, I don't like that. I want to be able to help you. And I was like, that's great. So I'm hoping that when she grows up, she continues to carry out that attitude. But every day, like, I see it. She says she's so grateful for things. She says, we'll go to like Burger King or McDonald's, and we'll finish eating. And as we're walking out, she'll wave back and be like, thank you. And then they just like wave to her and we leave. It's all like weird, cute little things. And it goes a long way. It's funny because, for example, a lot of places, if you need to run to the bathroom, they don't let you run to the bathroom. Like, if you go to Burger King, like, oh, you got to order food or whatever, right? Actually, I don't think they do. But like, places like that. So we got to ShopRite, and my kid's like, I have to go pee. And I'm like, dude, we just got here. Like, you couldn't go like when we were at home. And I was like, I'm pretty sure ShopRite probably has bathrooms, but I don't think they allow customers to use them. They might, actually, when I think about it. But anyway, I was like, you know what? Just try to run to Burger King and go there and then come back.
They do
So
have a bathroom.
they do. It's like on the left corner. I think I remember where it is now. But for some
All the way
reason,
in the
we're just
back.
yeah. We didn't whatever. We didn't think about it. So my wife went to Burger King, and their bathroom was shut down, so she couldn't go there, right? So there's a all you can eat Mongolian place next to the shop, right? I live, right? But I'm like, they're normally like, you have to be a customer, right? But we go there quite often enough. I'm like, no, they'll probably make the exception for us, right? So my wife goes in, and they're like, yeah, go. And they gave her like some mints when she was leaving. They're, oh, here, take some mints, leave, because they know us, because we go there time to time, and they know my daughter because she talks to them. She's like, hi, how are you? And like, she'll say thank you, and they give her the crayons to color. They give her like little weird Chinese pencils and stuff like that. That they have from like Hello Kitty. I don't know. There's some weird stuff, but
Yeah.
like, they know her. So like, when she showed up and they're like, hey, can we use your bathroom? They're like, yeah, don't worry, come on, go use your bathroom, stuff like that. But just I guess what I'm trying to get at is, being good in nature, it does pay off. Like, people will be nice to you, being nice to them. And sometimes it won't always work that way. Like, I've had people be mean to me, but I'm nice back, because it's not worth being mean to them. And especially when things don't go our way, we always kind of don't know what to do. But sometimes just you ride it. You just kind of ride it through. Things might not always go our way, but like your trip today, you're supposed to go today. You're supposed to be on the road more or less and be at
Hey,
the
we still
airport.
have time.
But you still got
I'm
time.
still
You can
brainstorming while I'm
listen.
brainstorming.
Just like my
I was
daughter
like,
said.
is there a helicopter? I said, can you have a car that shovels? Like, with whatever.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's like my daughter said. You can always try again.
Let's go ski.
Listen. You got to take it just like my daughter said. You could always try again.
Like, put me on the sleigh, put me on the snowmobile. I don't know. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's just like, I have so many creative ideas. Like, definitely snowmobile would help. Traveling car would
Just
help.
get more dogs. Get a sled. You could have been going across the
Right?
highway.
That's exact. I'm like, you guys And I'm wondering, I'm like, you guys will never survive in Russia because this snow is like maybe like half a meter, like this much, right? But the
Yeah.
only reason why we can't drive is because it's ice underneath.
Yeah.
So there's a a great chance of the car won't go the way it's supposed to. They might turn around and just get somewhere else,
Yeah.
you know? So, but still, maybe like you want me to put a hot water underneath? Like put a hot water that's going underneath while you drive. Like it's so many ideas going through my brain, and
How to get there? Yeah.
at the same time, it's just like let me just enjoy the snow because that's exactly what I love. And just lay on the snow and just be grateful because I
Hmm.
know if I get there today and tomorrow it's gonna be really cold. So it's a good chance of doing nothing at all
Mm-hmm.
because it's cold. I mean, you can walk around or around there, but it's not that proactive
Yeah, yeah. It's
or
not. Yeah.
productive.
Proactive.
And
Yeah, yeah.
so, and I'm like, you know what? I just want to make sure that this airline will be
Forgiving.
enough enough forgiving because some of them are like, oh, nothing we can do. We just gotta uh charge a changing fee flat and then charge the difference of a different flight
It, it's
price.
it's
And I'm like,
it's definitely tricky.
but why?
It's definitely tricky
The,
because
yeah.
some airlines,
Well, if it's
especially.
canceled, then it's complimentary. Then oh well,
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
canceled for me.
Yeah, yeah. If it's canceled, then it's on their end. But like,
Yeah.
if you buy ones that are, I don't remember because I think I had like a non-refundable one or something like that, and it's like I just had to take that loss. Like I couldn't make the flight because I was running late, and they're
Mhm.
like, yeah, there's nothing you can do. I mean, it was a cheap enough flight for me that I was like, I'll just take the loss because there's honestly nothing else I can do anyway.
Yeah, it's also an emergency, and also at the same time, do you really want to lose a customer in now day and age of so many airlines? Like, what can you actually do to protect your? And I'm sure in this flight was a lot of people from my area that cannot make it as well. It's not like I'm alone.
yeah. But like, I
There's
mean,
all around people stuck
if and when you
in the
talk to them
house.
though, if and when you talk to them, just definitely just try to be have like a be like more
Like,
understanding, like be understanding with them, because obviously we're sometimes hot-headed people, right? So the conversation will get to us and we'll just start flipping out and things like that.
oh,
And I can safely tell you that if you go that route, you won't get anything at all. But even if things don't work out, generally a lot of these people are pretty good to work with. Like they'll work with you, they'll understand where you're coming from, and you tell them, hey, like, I'm like 3 hours from the airport and I'm buried underneath snow. I can almost guarantee you that you're not the only one stuck in this boat, and there's a lot of customers along the same line. So they'll be willing to work with you as long as you're willing to work with them. As long as you're not gonna sit there and give them a like. Did I tell you the one time when I was having like either internet issues or phone issues, and I called my provider and I was telling them this is happening, and they're like, "Oh, we're trying to look into it, do all this, right?" And the entire time I'm like, "No, no, no problem. I appreciate your help. Take your time." Every time she had to look at something, and she gave me a discount in the end or whatever. But she's like, she goes at the end, she goes, "I just want to thank you," and I'm like, "What do you, like, thank you. Yeah, no worries. Like, I don't mind
yes.
being a customer." She's like, "No, no, no. I want to thank you because you were the kindest call I got today." That's what
Oh,
she said to me. She's like, you didn't yell at me. You didn't give me a hard time. You were very understanding. I wish everybody was like you. And I literally did nothing special. I just knew that she was like she was probably having a hard time and stuff. And I've worked in customer service, so I know what it's like. So I'm not gonna yell at you when I know it's not in your hands, right? So
yes.
I guess that's a nice little reminder to you, Rose, that whoever you talk to on the other end of that phone, they're probably going through hard shit too. So don't make it hard for them, even though you're going through a hard time. But when she said that, like I was like taken aback because I was just like, I'm sorry that you're going through such a hard time with people. I'm like, people just suck, but just, and I told her, I was like, don't let it define you. Like, I think you're good at what you do, and people are just going to be upset. Just don't take it personal. And she took my advice, and even till now, I hope she's doing okay. But I remember before the end of the call, you get your thank you for being a customer for X amount of years, all that. It wasn't even that kind of thank you. It was just like a thank you for being human. Thank you for being human to be. And sometimes people just need that. So, despite today not working out for you, it'll work out. It'll work out.
It'll work out.
It'll work out. Keep telling you, it'll work out. You'll be fine. Everything is gonna be okay. Do I need? I'm gonna. I'll have Lily. I'll have Lily send you a private video saying everything's gonna be okay. She's gonna sing the song to you directly.
Yes, that's. Oh my gosh, it's so precious.
That's what I'm gonna do. But listen, you'll be fine. But one thing I will tell you right now is definitely go out there and enjoy that snow. Take some in, build a snowman. Make the most of it. Everything's gonna be okay.
Everything's gonna be okay.
But yeah, I'm happy we had our chat, our little motivation station episode today. I think it was very, very calming. Very, like, I feel better. I feel better than I did yesterday for sure. And yeah, like I think it's just timing, right? The timing of everything. Like, I was going through this hard time, and then I look at my Instagram and I see Lily singing this song, and I'm just like, the timing, like I'm having a bad day, but everything's gonna be okay,
Yeah, she definitely was the right timing.
Right timing.
I'm sure for a lot of people.
And then just her, when I told her that the other person got the job, she just like held up a fist, and she was like, "Who was it?" And I was just like, "What are you gonna do?" Like, what the heck? It was funny. It was very entertaining. She's a very entertaining child. But I 2026 is gonna be a good year. I see it coming.
It's gonna be a great
And look at it this way. Look, also, sorry to cut you off. I was gonna look at it this way. So I wanted to come see you. I mean, I was aiming for February. It might be more towards like March, depending, right? But had I switched jobs, I would have maybe been a little bit more at peace because it's like the timing and stuff. But I was gonna make a good amount of less money, so coming to see you would have been harder. Now I have a better schedule, right? So now I'll feel a little bit better, and I'll make more money again. So I will be able to come see you probably in March. I'm going to aim for March because February, I just got through my finances and everything. So like March would be like a better month, and I'll come out for like a weekend or something like that. And plus I want this snow to melt and maybe get a little bit warmer because I know it's still cold down there too. So we'll figure things out. But there's going to be a progress for both of us a lot this year, both for you and your friend that you're supposed to meet with. It may not happen this weekend or whatever, but listen, it's going to happen, and I know you're going to make progress.
And I do know the next podcast I'll be sitting under the palm trees.
That's what I like to hear.
As a
Amen.
promise.
Let's get that good juju in here. Let's do it.
Usually
yes.
I don't promise, but I will be sitting under the palm tree and having the beautiful cafecito with motivation station. That's must happen. Now it's just like must happen.
Yeah. You know what's gonna happen? Look. You know what's gonna happen? It would have been good if you were able to make it out today and do the podcast here, and that work out. It would have been good, right? But since it didn't, now the next time it's just gonna be even better. You know what I mean? It's gonna be even better than what it could have been today. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be great.
Yes, I agree with that. Thank you so much, everyone who's watching us, who is liking, sharing our videos. Absolutely a beautiful support for us. It's likes and comments. As you know, algorithm of YouTube always looking for those likes and comments. It's very important for us, our support. We love you from the bottom of our hearts. And I want to encourage you to write down that one goal that you really, really want to achieve this year, and you are so motivated, right? Go to sleep with the dream and wake up with the motivation, right? Motivation to do something. Just do one step every single day towards that goal. You don't have to go all the way, you don't have to go crazy. Just start with the one small step, and by the end of the year you're gonna see a huge difference, and your goal will be achieved. And I cannot wait by the end of the year hear your stories how your goal was achieved. right? If you learn one word in any language a day, there will be 365 words of a new language
Yeah.
by the end of the year. So everything starts with the small, consistent habits, steps that get you there.
Yep.
And
And
next time, it's a beautiful February. We're gonna see we have a Valentine's beautiful day coming up. We have a beautiful History Month coming up, and we're celebrating the last month of the beautiful Winterland. And
yeah.
yes, let's let's see what the February is gonna bring us. And I will be making sure that I'm bringing the hot, a beautiful background
Please,
to the
please,
a beautiful
pass it through the phone. Yeah, hand
Winter
me some.
Wonderland. Yes,
God.
please. Ah, can't wait.
It's funny because like somebody sent me like a meme of something and it was like gaming related, but they're like on a beach, sunny, and I'm like, I'm not even paying attention to the joke anymore. I'm paying attention to the weather. I'm like, oh, it must be nice and warm back in that background. But yeah, no, exactly like I said. Like, I mean, next week for sure. I hope you have that good week there, and I'd love to see you down there in Florida and enjoying your time. And I hope it works out. Reach out to me if you need anything and anything I can help with. I will definitely try to
Yes,
help you out with.
beat up somebody.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
right.
call Lily.
Yeah,
Beat up.
I'll get them. Like my daughter says, who did it to you? Snow go.
Exactly.
My daughter would show up and start punching the snow. Don't worry. But no,
Yeah.
everything will work out. Will be okay. And just like Rose said, we appreciate you guys coming by. We hope you also aim to achieve your goals, and anything we can do to help encourage that, to talk about that. Feel free to write to us. Feel free to join our our YouTube podcast when we go live. Feel free to email us. We're on Spotify. All this. Be around, and we'll have a lot of good times. And now going into February, we're gonna share more stories of love and being compassionate.
More
It's
understanding.
more understanding, more patient. There's a lot to learn in the month of February, and we look forward to
Yeah.
sharing that with you. But until then, definitely,
Be
definitely, definitely,
conscious.
cheers to you guys. We love you from the bottom of our hearts. And oh, that's a lovely glass right there. That's what I would be drinking a what's that? What's that sunrise
I
alcoholic?
said I don't
Tequila
drink, but
sunrise.
pour me. Yes, I
Tequila
said I don't
sunrise.
drink. Pour me some orange juice so I could take it as a shot.
Yeah, just take it as a shot. Exactly. There you go. But thanks guys for being a part of our podcast today. We'll see you guys next week. Have a motivated day.
Thank
Take
you
care.
guys. Bye bye.